What's going on, everybody? So this isn't going to be no hour-long video, maybe about 10-15 minutes at the most, but I just kind of want to talk about choosing freight, right? Are you being too selective? Are you being over selective? It's the only thing that what I want to say is you hear a lot about freight rates. You hear a lot about your cost per mile. You hear a lot about fuel prices. You hear a lot about home time. These are the things that you hear a lot about in the industry, okay? But the thing about it is you have to look at the driver as well, okay? Like, yes, this company might not pay too good for company drivers. They might not. This brokerage might not be very flexible. All of these different things. But let's look at the driver, okay? Now listen, there are certain things that drivers like and don't like to do. There are certain places that they like to go and don't like to go. There are certain types of freight that we like to haul and we don't like to haul. Now when you're a lease operator or an owner operator and you're choosing your own freight and your income is based off of the revenue of that load, then you cannot be as choosy as you think you can. You have to remember that whatever your cost per mile is, and we'll use even numbers here, whatever your cost per mile is, say that your cost per mile is $1, okay? Say it's $1, because these are easy numbers. So say your cost per mile is $1, and you find a load that is $2 a mile, right? So that's good. You're way up there. You're doing great, right? But this load at $2 a mile requires you to run through the night, through the rain, and make multiple stops to get it, okay? Say it's a perfect load. Everything is bam, 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 bam. It's all going to work out right. But you're like, nope, I ain't driving in the dark. Or nope, I ain't driving in the rain. Or nope, I don't like to go to such and such a city, okay? Listen, if you want to be a successful owner-operator or lease operator, you're going to do something that Casanova told you a while back that you're going to have to do. And this was in one of his videos, and he said, and it's never more true, to be successful in trucking, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. I'm going to say that again. To be successful in trucking, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. Right? You're going to have to suck it up and realize that you're going to have to run at night if you want to be successful. You're going to have to run in the rain. You're going to have to deal with shitty weather or cold temperatures or hot temperatures. You're going to have to do the things that other people are not willing to do if you want to be successful. That's all there is to it. So if you sit here and you say, nah, I ain't running at night, you just lost your $2 a mile load and you're going to take $1.50 a mile load? You got to be nuts, right? You got to be nuts. You're going to have to put up with shit that nobody else wants to put up with. You're right. That's all it is. You know? Yeah, Lone Wolf, that's what you're saying. You're saying, I don't want to make money. That's what you're saying. When you turn down, these loads that no one else wants to do, or ones that run at night, or not your optimal load for you as an individual, you're saying, I don't want to make money. Money is not important to my family, to paying my bills, or taking care of my responsibilities. Those are the things that are the most important things in life. So how can you say no to that? Because we all know that if you don't pay your bills on time, shit gets shut off. If you don't send money home to your family or whatever, ain't gonna be no food on the table. All of these things, if you neglect that, if you're not running at your optimal peak, if you're not doing things that people don't want to do, then you're not going to make money, and you just need to stay a company driver and get you a little dedicated route, have your 37 cents a mile, or your little 27 cents a mile, whatever it is. That's right, Lone Wolf, there's all things we want. Ricky, Mr. Ricky, sir, I see you in here. What's up, my man? Mr. Ricky's in here. That guy right there, listen, you need to go watch. There's some of his videos that are about real life experiences, and it kind of relates to a little bit of what I'm saying right now. And some of that is some stuff that he has already said, to where you're gonna have to put up with shit in life that nobody wants, and you gotta find a way to deal with that, right? You gotta find a way to you have to find a way to allow yourself to be okay with that, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to, because listen, we all deal with things in life that could trigger us, that would set us off, and it's how you deal with that is what's going to negate the outcome, right? It's going to or dictate the outcome. So you need to realize that you're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to go places you don't want to go. You're going to have to go to customers that you've been to before that you don't like, right? Like I was talking to Mr. Ricky on the phone yesterday, and he was over at a customer that we've both been to before that we know takes forever. But you still got to do those things, right? Some of those loads, because these customers or whatever, they get bad reputations, and people will turn down that freight. So in order for that freight to get taken, the brokerage or the customer or wherever you're getting your loads from, they've got to up that, right? They've got to up it to get somebody to take it, because Susie that sits in the office is an asshole, and she treats the drivers like crap. But listen, if you kill them with kindness, you be professional, and you go in there and you're just like, yes ma'am, no ma'am, whatever. Hey, you need to take those loads. You need to do that kind of stuff, because it's going to pay you more money, and you're going to be sitting better at the end of it. But don't be too choosy. Don't be a trucking diva and say, nah, man, I hate Ohio. I ain't going to Ohio. Or man, I hate, there are some things where we just won't do, right? Like nobody really wants to go downtown New York City. No one really wants to go into Brooklyn or wherever, and there are people that just won't do it, right? I won't do it. I just won't. Just because I've heard all the horror stories. I've never even been there. But New York is one place I just won't go. Everywhere else, cool, let's do it. Unless there's something really important going on at home, I'm just going to chase the dollar, right? I'm going to chase the dollar all around the country to the hot spots. And there are boards out there, there are maps out there where you can see predictions, right? You can see predictions where you'll see hot spots on the map. And it'll say, maybe Midwest is real hot, right? Or maybe over near Boise, like in Idaho. Or maybe they're shipping apples or something out of Washington. Or maybe lumber is flowing real good for you flatbed guys out of Oregon. Who knows? Maybe flowers are pumping out of Florida or out of Texas. But you chase that dollar around. Hey, then when it's time to go home, all right, then when it's time to go home for your home time, that's when you can be a little bit more choosy, because you're trying to pinpoint a place on the map, right? But if you live in Dallas and you want to go to Richmond, Virginia, just because your friend Tommy lives there and you ain't seen him in 2 years, well, shit. Would you prefer a direct load from Dallas to Richmond for $1.25 a mile, or would you prefer a $2 a mile load from Dallas to, say, Columbus for $2 a mile, and then take you $1.25 a mile over to Richmond? Or, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get the idea. Follow the money. Pinpoint yourself closer. It might take you longer to get where you really want to go, but you'll be more successful. Yeah, DAT puts out a freight forecast, Lone Wolf is saying right here, that you can search online. That's what I look at. Any successful owner-operator will tell you that you have to do things that people do not want to do, or things that you do not want to do in order to be successful. That's where the money is. What do you want me to tell you? Can't tell you anymore. But are you choosing the right freight for you, right? Are you choosing the right freight for, some guys that have an older truck, okay? They could choose to run freight at $1 a mile. Somebody that has a brand new truck like mine, or like some of you guys, you can't run a freight at $1 a mile. You'll never make any money. You're basically paying to run that load. You're paying the brokerage. You're saying, hey, I'm going to pay you 45 cents a mile to run this load. Because you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to earn anything. You're not even going to cover your freaking fuel costs. You're not going to be able to put nothing in your maintenance fund. Listen, with all the stuff that happened with Matt, I've learned a great deal, and I've talked to a lot of different people that says, hey, You know, try this, try this, try this. I reach out to those more experienced owner-operators, the guys that have came before me. Those are the dudes that you need to listen to, because majority of these guys have figured it out. You know, people that they have figured it out. You understand? So listen to those veteran owner-operators, those guys. Now listen, the company guys, they're not going to be really able to help you. They might understand a little bit of freight rates and stuff, but they're not looking at the same things you're looking at, because these big companies, they have dedicated customers. They go out, they get these $1 million, billion-dollar contracts, and you know that customer says, oh, hey Swift, hey Knight, hey Warner, whatever, we got X amount of loads from this place, X amount of loads from this place, and they've already got a set rate. That's why company drivers are only making such and such cents per mile. So but you have to reach out to those other owner-operators, those other guys that are in the same game that we're in, that are playing the same game. Remember I said the other day, you know, to find somebody with similar goals, you know, to be able to help you succeed at reaching your goals, right? Well, reach out to those owner-operators and say, hey, man, I'm kind of struggling a little bit. Suck up your pride a little bit. Say, hey, I'm having a rough go. Trust me, majority of those guys, they will understand. They will understand to, they will understand what you're going through, right? Because they've been through it. You know what I'm saying? They started out as an owner-operator and probably didn't know shit about what they were doing. And they needed to do the same thing. So they reached out to the guys before them. Right? That's kind of like the brotherhood that we talk about, isn't it? That some people say is non-existent out here. Listen, if I could call, you know, Jonesy, I could call Jay Cannell, I could call a trucking exec, I could call Mr. Ricky, I could call a whole bunch of other friends, Eric Cornelius, you know, I could call all these other guys that you guys don't know, but they're personal friends of mine, you know, that could call me, or that I could call and say, hey, you know, shit, I need some help. I'm trying to figure this out. You know, do you know any? Most of these guys, this is where the wealth of information comes right here. Most of these guys that have been doing the owner-operator thing for an extended period of time, right? I'd say a year or more. More than likely, those guys, a year or more, they have relationships with brokers or with customers. So these guys might be able to help you find a better load than what you're looking at. They might be able to get you a better rate because they know John, or you know, that works at TQL or works at Coyote or whatever. So they might know that guy personally, and they can call in a favor and say, hey, I got a friend that's over here. They're like, hey, I got a friend that's over here, blah, blah, blah. Can you help him out? Oh, shit, that's your friend? Yeah, we got him. We'll get him a load here, you know, whatever. So those guys might already have relationships with some of the brokers because they've shown themselves to be professional and on time, you know, all of those things. Right, there's a lot of people that talk smack about TQL. I'm using them as a biggest because everybody knows their name. But the thing about it is those guys might have a relationship, right? It's easy. So reach out to your fellow owner-operators, lease operators that have been doing it for a year or more, because they might know somebody. I've had people send me messages on Facebook, hey, Lil Dawg, I've been an owner-operator for X amount of years. You know, if you're ever in this area, let me know. I know some brokers that control some freight in that area, and they'll help me out. So, listen, don't be too choosy. Don't be a trucking diva and say, I'm not doing this. Suck it up. Put your raincoat on, get out of the fucking truck, and do your job. And then get back in the truck and do your job and drive the shit safely down the road. That's all that matters, right? What's Mr. Ricky say? Keep it between, or what's he say? Keep hitting them switches. Keep it between the white lines and out them ditches. Right? That's what Mr. Ricky says. So you need to do that. That's our job, is to get shit from A to B, right? If you worked at McDonald's and you said, man, I think we should serve the fries to people and then cook them. Everybody be like, that's not how we do it. Are you lost? Like, get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? So just don't be too picky when it comes to choosing freight. Know what your cost per mile is. And then if you don't got to be home, just chase the money, right? Chase the money. That's all you need to do. Follow the dollar. Don't be like, oh, it's raining in Indiana, so I can't go there. Listen, are you a confident man, a confident woman, a confident professional driver? Then get your ass to Indiana in the rain. If you're afraid, if you're not comfortable with your skills, if you're not safe, then by all means, take your ass back down south where it's sunshine and rainbows for everybody, and you run the cheap shit. I'll go into the shitty weather, and I'll get the loads that nobody wants to get. You know what I mean? Very simple. But other than that, guys, that's really all I want to say. I just want you guys to understand that if you're trying to be successful at this, you can't be too choosy about your freight. And any successful owner-operator will tell you the same thing. And don't ever take the first number that the broker offers you either. Never, never, never. If they're trying to sell a load for $1,000, tell them you want $1,800. And then when they say, I can't do $1,800, I can do $1,500, sold. Sign me up. Don't ever take the first number they offer you, because there's always room in it. And even if they say, oh, well, if I give you $1,800, I'm losing money. No, they're not. No, they're not. They take what? What would you guys say? There's some owner-operators in here. What would you say? They take 20, 30% off the top from the jump, right? So when they get that rate from the customer, they chop 30% off of that, and then that's what they try to sell the load at. Yeah, at least, if not more, right? So there's room in there. There's room in there. No reason they should be making 30% for all the work that you're going to do. No way. They're providing a service, so yes, I agree. They should make a little money. However, it shouldn't be the same amount of money that you're making. You're the one out here putting everything at risk. You're the one out here turning the wheels, doing the miles. Not them. They shouldn't be making as much as you. So don't ever let them tell you, well, if they're going to stay that, if they're stuck at that number, move on. Move on. Say, here's my number. If you change your price, give me a call, and you move on to the next one. Because anybody that's ever watched a freight board will tell you, that load pops up, a minute later that shit's gone, right? Boom, boom, they're flying off the shelves. You know what I mean? It's like the new Elmo, just phew, 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 flying off the shelves. So if you find one, if you find a good rate, take it. You know what I mean? But if they're not going to budge, even it might be a load that you really want to do, screw that, man. Get the hell out of there. You know, don't lock yourself into that rate. It ain't worth it. No way. No way. Don't be too choosy. Please don't tell me they put this guy in the door right beside me. This place is so horrible. Let me show you guys this before I leave. I'll go for like 2 more minutes, but let me show you guys this place where I'm at here. This place is ridiculous, man. And this guy back in here beside me. These doors aren't tight together, right? They aren't tight together. But look at this. Big old concrete wall. My front of my truck is right there. And there's a guy on the other side of me. So I won't be able to get out of this spot once this guy backs in here until that guy leaves. Look at this shit, man. These doors are super tight. Look at this. Look how close these things are, man. I mean, imagine if I wasn't there. Imagine if look how close up he's got to get just to get straight. And, I mean, if I wasn't there, I wouldn't be able to get into that middle spot. You know, like I won't be able to get out until the guy beside me is done. to go out the other way. I think that's why they stack the trucks in there like that, but I'm telling you, that's way too tight. Anyways, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. If you think this is some good information, you know, share out the video. And definitely, you owner-operators, if you got any advice about freight rates and choosing freight, leave a comment after I post the video, after the video post. That way it stays in there and other guys are able to read it, okay? That's the best way to do it. So, tons of thumbs up, share it out, give me a 73 bomb, and we're going to be out of here. I will have a vlog tonight, by the way. It'll be yesterday and today. But I love you guys. Please stay safe. And if any of you are in Indianapolis, come see me and Matt over at the Ultimate Call Out Challenge. So like I said, please, most important part of this video, owner-operators, if you got advice about freight rate, after this video posts to YouTube, leave a comment so everybody can see it. Later, folks. Love you guys.